Hey Pisceans, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your second half of October general reading here. So let's talk about your meditation for a second. I don't want to belabor it. I want to get right into the cards, but it feels like a graduation. You're being asked to step into your whale energy, okay? Your whale energy is kind of like the top of the food chain in terms of your natural element of being a water sign. You are represented by the fish there, right? And what I actually saw was Flounder from Little Mermaid and then Nemo from Finding Nemo. And then I saw it graduate to, it was like, oh, next tier, shark and a dolphin. Then, oh, top tier was the whale. So if you're in a place coming up here, or you have been, where it's like, wow, a lot of emotions going on, very emotional, feeling things deeply. I mean, you guys always do, but it feels extra. The best thing to do, first of all, the healing power of music, right? Absolutely. But also just the whale, it's kind of like let it in to let it out. You know what I mean? Let it in to let it out. But also it's a beautiful thing, like when you think about like the pinnacle of your natural element sign, you know, being the whale. In my opinion, that would be it. The whale is like the top of the, you know, chain there. And being in your power in that way is not just feeling emotions, but allowing them to work for you and how you make decisions and discern the best path ahead. Your emotions are your natural element as water, right? And letting them work for you as opposed to on you. Okay? Be an active participant in what you're feeling as opposed to I'm feeling things and you know, requires it's happening to me or at me, right? Being an active participant in the emotions that are going through your body. Okay? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Scorpion, fellow water sign here. Guess what this is about? Feeling really deeply. It's exactly what I was talking about with the whale. If anything, the whale is the light side of what we're looking at, and this is the shadow side of what we're looking at. This is feeling things so intensely that it's best to spend some time alone. Because when you're feeling things really intensely, with the Scorpion energy, when it comes up, it's like best to filter out that stuff by yourself so that if the stinger comes out to play, wouldn't you rather sting yourself than innocent people around you who just happen to be in your atmosphere? If you live with roommates, if you live with a partner, if you're around a lot of people because of work, this is really about insisting on time to yourself, saying no to going out for drinks after work if you really are feeling so much. I would not recommend drinking. And I don't usually feel the need to talk about this, but I do. Do you know what can exacerbate the Scorpion when you're in this energy of like deep, listen. I'm a Scorpio moon. I'm uniquely qualified to speak about this. When you are feeling things on this scale, okay? Things or activities or substances that may exacerbate this and not heal it, such as alcohol, which is a depressant and a downer, or any kind of substance that, or even like a lot of sugar or meat or, I don't know about meat, but like processed foods, anything that is going to exacerbate an already intense situation is usually not helpful. Yet when we feel this way, that's often our first impulse. Smoking cigarettes, anything like that. It's often when we feel this, it's our first impulse to Diet Coke it. Or it's like, how can I just diet this up? How can I just like water it down a little bit? Pun not intended, right? Because it is so intense. So it's like, ooh, let me just smoke. Let me just have some wine after work. Let me just like eat this package of Oreos. Like anything to set off other receptors in my brain and body and emotional sphere so that I can distance myself because this is really freaking intense. Again, you can navigate through this with taking alone time. Even if you're like, I don't want to be alone right now, you do not want to sting anybody who's nearby. Okay? I do feel like this full moon in Aries was intense for you. You know, if you, and not just for you, okay, but I do feel like it was particularly intense for you, whether you have Aries in your chart or not. You know, Aries is that energy is very much about a right way and a wrong way, how things should be, black or white thinking, rigidity. It's that emperor energy here. So if any of you have issues or thoughts or feelings around where you are as opposed to where you want to be, I think this came up in your last reading, then it affected you doubly, that moon. And this takes that whole aspect of letting it in to let it out to a whole other level, right? This is where you are. You're being called to be the whale instead of the scorpion, okay? I really feel for you around this. I'm telling you, I know what that is. I know when the scorpion manifests how intense that could be and how it always is, but also the inherent gifts within it, right? One of the worst things that you could possibly do when you're feeling this, like I said, is surround yourself with a bunch of people. You also have to consider, as a Piscean, a lot of you guys are empaths, okay? Which means you feel other people's emotions as your own. Being around a lot of people, you're gonna pick up on their stuff, and then it's gonna just like make the situation, it's gonna add a lot more cooks to the already full kitchen that is your emotional life and sphere right now, okay? Let's see what's going on. I think we know what's going on, but let's see specifically what's going on. Okay, fabulous. So this is Six of Wands. So this is really beautiful here, okay? This is the past energy coming in that may or may not affect the present, okay? This is success in a way that other people can see, right? So success that is physicalized in the 3D realm, or this is, you know, the feel goods internally that people can see, just like, oh, you have a glow around you. But this is success in a way that other people can see, which is beautiful, okay? See the present energy here. Sometimes it's darkest before the dawn. Sometimes we can get ourselves into emotional tizzy because we're about to manifest something that we really want, and it's almost as if the universe is prepping us for that. You got the Hangman. So this is a pause in the action. So this is making a lot of sense. Because if you're going from the Six of Wands where things really were looking up, maybe you got a promotion at work, maybe things at work felt more comfortable, maybe you finally got a job or finally figured something out, or things kind of calmed down for a minute, but then you were like, oh, it wasn't that the storm was over, I was just in the eye of the hurricane, and now I'm out of the eye and I'm back to this Hangman position. The Hangman is an active pause. It's taking a time out to flip your perspective, assume the Hangman position, and see things a little differently. This is exactly what I was saying about taking time on your own, right? Assuming that hermit position and really letting this stuff flow and sink to you. Now, if you think about it, the Hangman upside down where all the blood rushes to the head, right? And then you've got this scorpion tail here, right? Fascinating. Do you see, I would never do this to an actual scorpion, like, oh my gosh, no, I would never. But if you hung a scorpion upside down, the stinger is a lot, it's further away. It's like a safer option, right? So I feel like the tonic here, again, is alone time, but also flipping your perspective upside down and allowing yourself some space to be okay with feeling cattywampus. Like, what can I say? Do you know what I mean? Let's see what else is going on. But that is really taking an active time out, and it's a pause in the action, which is a big change from Six of Wands, because it's like, boo, 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 we're going, yeah, everybody, everything's going my way. You maybe even called your mama or your daddy and been like, I think things are finally looking up, and then it was like, not yet, right? That's what it feels like. And this can be any level of extreme, right? See, here we are, showing up in your own reading here. The moon. This is you guys, right? Really gorgeous. Remember how I was talking about how the Aries and full moon might have been, the full moon in Aries, rather? Ooh, do you see how I flipped that reverse on accident? And we were talking about the Hanged Man? It feels like I'm in a fun house of mirrors, or in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, or in whatever reality where left is right and right is left. Oh, Alice in Wonderland. It's Alice in Wonderland, where left is right and right is left, and to go forward, you must go back. Embrace that feeling right now, because that's what it feels like. You know, the moon, again, this is your lovely Piscean energy here. The full moon in Aries was very impactful. This is about the unknown and psychic abilities. Do you see this bird in a cage here? You see this little baby crow in a cage here? Again, for the 10,000th time, I'm telling you, take some time alone to work through this scorpion-like energy. Okay, because the worst thing in the world, and you guys are so beautifully sensitive of how other people feel, You care about that. It's, it's funny, and I feel the need to speak about this. Scorpions and Pisces, obviously you're both water signs, and you have definitely some similarities in common, but you really couldn't be more different. Because in my experience and in my opinion, right, also being a Scorpio moon, like, Scorpions feel their feelings, and the shadow, okay, I'm not talking about a Scorpio in alignment, but the shadow energy of an out of alignment Scorpio will feel things and then, blame it on you or anybody else in their surroundings. An out of alignment asleep Scorpio, okay? The shadow energy is, I feel this stuff and it's your fault, instead of looking inward. Now, if you hangman the Scorpio, flip it around, and then put it in the light, they feel these intense feelings, but instead of blaming it on others, they take it to a place of introspection to find the origin point of those feelings and work through them backward to forward. That's gold here for you. Pisceans are, in my experience of them, they're not quick to blame other people. They're quick to blame themselves before other people. And I just saw 1111 on the timer. There's something in that for you. And I know you would rather sting yourself than sting anybody around you who's innocent, okay? Clarify for 6 of Wands. Okay. You got the moon again. This is why I use different decks in case there are any repeat offenders. You got the moon again to clarify the 6 of Wands. I absolutely love this. So I also feel like this is saying, because, the moon represents the unknown. I love that you showed up twice in your own reading. It's very auspicious. With the 6 of Wands and this victory and having this moment of like, oh, yay, I'm through this lesson. And it's like, no, actually, that was just like a pit stop and the plane's taking off again, or you're no longer in the eye of the storm, but it's storm still raging type deal. I do feel like you're being called to embrace the unknown in a brand new way and to truly be okay. We can say that we're okay with living in the unknown, embracing it, and we're cool with whatever happens. But then there's really, the universe can put that to the test and have things go our way, and then suddenly they're not. And it's like, well, did you learn something? Can you only be comfortable when things are going your way? Or can you find comfort in the discomfort? Can you find peace within the unknowing? Can you find peace within the unknown, rather? Can you still light your torch here, right? The victory that you experienced around this was because you were okay with just walking ahead, not knowing what the answers were. And then you got tripped up a bit because I feel like you were tested again, or something, just kind of like it was going one way and then it kind of like veered and you're like, oh my God. But the thing is that you can't see the bigger picture of it in terms of your soul plan and how you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. Clarify for the Hangman. Because one thing is for sure, you're gonna die. One thing is for sure, when a lot of major arcanas come up here, those denote destined events, which means you're exactly where you're meant to be. If you see a minor arcana, such as the 6 of Wands here, and you don't like something, although there's nothing not to like about the 6 of Wands, you can make steps to change it, but the majors are destined events. I've pulled 4 cards, 3 of them are majors, and you've got the moon twice, okay? Now look at what's clarifying the Hanged Man. 10 of Cups, complete emotional fulfillment with the Hanged Man. Assume this position, take some time on your own, filter out your situation, become again, be a phoenix rising from those ashes, be the whale. I am hearing music, 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 music. Listen to music, sing music. Music, music, music is a beautiful lubricant to let ourselves assume the position of the scorpion and get out of it, not so chafed and damaged, right? Damaged isn't the right word, but like ruffled, right? 10 of Cups, complete emotional fulfillment. I feel like this is the last piece of the puzzle on your journey to stability. Especially those who are in careers, I'm feeling, that aren't a straight line. Anyone who's in a career that's not a straight line. So who am I not talking to? I'm not talking to lawyers. Well, if you're a lawyer, okay, maybe this is about an aspect of your law work, I don't know. But I mean a career like a lawyer or a doctor where it's like you do this and then you know, as a doctor, you're a student and then you do intern and then you do residency and then you go here. It's like very step by step. But those who have careers that aren't like that, whether you're an artist, in the entertainment industry, a private chef, or an entrepreneur, a small business owner, basically anything that's not in a line of work that's like it's this and there's no other, you know what I mean? It really I mean, you could be in a situation like that and then it starts to get a little gray, like, am I in the right situation? But anyone who's in a career that really, or a path that is calling for you to embrace the unknown, actually, you actually doing this and fulfilling that is going to lead to your 10 of Cups. Now let's get a clarifier for the moon here. This too shall pass, my Pisceans, okay? We are also heading into Scorpio season, which has not escaped me. That is the season coming up here real quick. Also, Mercury goes into retrograde on Halloween during Scorpio season. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. Clarifier for the moon. You might be especially equipped to get through this retrograde, even more so than some of your fellow water signs here. Before I show you this card, I want to show you what's at the bottom, which is the star, right? This is Aquarius energy here, the water bearer, right? This is this beautiful energy of clicking into and insisting on the divine hope and faith within and around you at all times. If you feel yourself distant from this northern star at any point in time, you can relocate it in the sky. Okay? Clarify the moon is the 7 of Swords. Now, this is that thief in the middle of the day, but this is also, yep, that's right, self-sabotage. And that's what I'm getting from this. It feels like this is all about you. It doesn't really feel like it's about people around you as much as you. Now, we have self-sabotage and the unknown with the moon, right? Sometimes we can have an insistence on answers or getting clarity, either from people around us or within ourselves, that it's like at any cost, I will get that clarity. At any cost, I will move out of a certain cycle into a new one because this one is so damn uncomfortable. Please don't rush this is what I'm getting with the 7 of Swords, okay? Please don't rush this. You had the moon come up twice in your own reading. Step into alignment around, this is you, be the moon. What is the moon? Well, let's talk about this. What is the moon? What is the moon known for? What does the moon do? Well, it's feminine energy. What is feminine energy, okay? Feminine energy is about receiving, right? So this isn't a time to like go just receive these emotions that are coming towards you, right? Receive these emotions within you. Hang the scorpion upside down like the hanged man, right? Gain some perspective. This is something you can really only do alone, okay? Please hear me when I say that. Even if you hook up with friends that are also in a Scorpion place, Scorpions don't run in packs like that. I just wouldn't recommend it. This is not a time for misery loves company, okay? I'm not saying that you're miserable. It's just an adage. It's a turn of the phrase, okay? The moon is feminine energy. It's about receiving. It's also about discerning what is unseeable in the light of day, which is 7 of Swords, because that thief in the middle of the day, right? Look underneath, look at the inner subtext, really look at what's going on underneath the surface. It's that esoteric energy of the whale, ancestor energy. Call upon your ancestors right now to help you through this time. But there is something that you are being called to see within yourself in your given circumstances that is teeing you up for great and welcome change to come. But in order to get there, you must ride this time period out as best you can. So it's up to you. Are you going to deny the scorpion and numb it with substances or distractions? Staying busy is also a distraction. Or are you going to welcome the scorpion and be like, you know what? I am where I am. I'm okay where I am. I know that it's part of the process. You've got all these major arcanas here. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And what I'm going through now is teeing me up for the life that I desire. What I am going through now is the spirit prepping me like a coach for the life that I desire. That's what it is, Pisces. I feel it, okay? I feel it. Let's get a goddess for you. Goddess for you, Pisceans. Shut yo beautiful mouth. Sekhmet, be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Well, I'd say that's pretty pertinent to everything that we've been talking about. I do feel like your strength lies in aligning with your natural element and with being the moon that you are, right? Embracing the unknown, being an example of what embracing the unknown looks like. Be an example of what embracing the unknown looks like. You are a Piscean, you are the moon, right? You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. You have absolutely got this. I want to point out the Eye of Horus here, and it's about seeing things that, looking beneath the surface and seeing it from a third eye perspective. You're incredibly intuitive. The moon is also about intuition. You've absolutely got this. Now is a time for activities that nourish this aspect of yourself. Alone time, being the whale, calling upon whale energy as a lubricant for this time. And again, the healing power of music. Let it in to let it out, and just trust that you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now, okay? Don't try to do the Cliff Notes version of this. You're just going to have to repeat it. There's going to be some Pisceans that go through this and allow it and are the whale and are strong, and it's going to assure a happy outcome, and they keep on going even though they don't have a flashlight. There's another group of Pisceans who are going to fight this, right? Are going to stuff it down, distract themselves around large groups of people or substances, and then they're just going to, all they're doing is delaying this lesson for another day, not too long out, right? You got this, Pisceans. I know you're in the first group. With that being said, I so hope this helped and resonated. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I would just absolutely love that. And with that being said, just thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, just thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.